All right. Hey, I'm back. And we were talking about simple carbs versus complex carbs. Simple carbs, they don't have a lot of nutritious value, no fiber, just quick sugars. And you want the majority of your carbs to be more complex, more fibrous. They have more minerals and vitamins that are essential for your body. Refined grains such as white flour and white rice are considered processed because they have to undergo a process to be in that state. White rice does not exist as that in nature. It has to be stripped of nutrients and fiber. Now, that's not always a bad thing. Um, but in general, it's recommended that the bulk of one's diet comes from more whole grain carbs, as well as fruit and vegetables. So if you can sometimes eat brown rice or wild rice and mix that in with some of your white rice, that's good too. White flour, if you can find some whole wheat flour, whole grain flour, almond flour, I see um, other types of flour out there. Some people are gluten intolerant, so they have to not use flour that way. But if you can just find a way to eat a little more healthy from time to time, I think that will help you out a lot with your health. Proteins. Proteins are found in foods like beans, nuts, animal products, meat, if you're into that. And they are the building blocks of muscle. And they're important for growth and maintenance of your body as well. Like the carbs, proteins provide 4 calories per gram. They contain amino acids, which are essential for some metabolic functions. Protein can be found in meat and mostly animal products. However, many animal products also contain fat and cholesterol. So that's the unfortunate thing about animal products and dairy. They also come with baggage, ethical baggage too. But aim for products that are lower in fat and cholesterol. Um, yeah. For vegetarians or vegans who avoid meat or animal products, it's important to still supply the body with adequate amounts of protein. And this is actually pretty easy. Additional sources of protein can be found in beans, lentils, chickpeas, nuts, soy, tofu, tempeh, um, even peanut butter. So there's lots of protein out there. And the important things for vegetarians or vegans, you definitely have to plan out your diet a little more than the average guy or the average non-vegan. What do you call them? Omnivores, meat eaters. Sure, we'll go with that. You should combine different protein sources known as complementary proteins. And this will provide your body with all the essential nutrients and amino acids needed. A really common, a really easy pair if you're a vegetarian or vegan, this is what I do a lot, is I will pair beans with rice. So beans and rice have different amino acids and different types of amino acid profiles. But if you combine them, you get the whole amino acid spectrum. And so you're covered. You get all your essential nutrients from that combination. And I suggest you also supplement with B12 and iron, because a lot of those are the 2 nutrients that vegans and vegetarians sometimes have an issue with. Protein is a building block. Your body needs protein to build and repair muscles. Protein is necessary in any diet. Athletes, bodybuilders, and dedicated exercisers may need slightly more protein in their diet. So if you're a very active person, like athletes, they train all the time. Of course, they vary the intensity. They can't train like incredibly intensely 24/7. Otherwise, they would risk injury, and you don't want that if you're making a living off of your body being healthy and productive. So you may need more diet if you're trying to build some muscle. When I was trying to gain more weight and more muscle, you do have to focus on the protein. Maybe not as much as some of the advertisements say. I think a lot of that's just they're pushing protein powder to to sell you a product, and you want to be careful with that. See if you can get protein from your normal everyday food sources. And then if you're like, man, I'm really struggling with hitting a certain protein number, then you would go for the supplement. But I would not immediately spend money on supplement. Shop around, look for cheaper protein sources. But yeah, that's my advice if you're trying to gain muscle. Fats are a stored energy source for the body. They provide insulation for the body and are essential for some metabolic functions and to break down fat-soluble vitamins. They provide 9 calories per gram. So if you remember, protein and carbs provide 4 calories per gram. Fats, on the other hand, provide 9 calories per gram. And they are found in foods like oil, butter, margarine, shortening, animal products, potato chips, candy. Some processed foods use a lot of oil sometimes. Fat is essential for the body to perform certain metabolic functions. So you don't want to avoid fat. Women generally have more body fat than men. This is because fat plays a vital role in a woman's reproductive health. So women who exercise too much or fall below the level of healthy body fat often have problems with or even a ceasing of their menstruation. Now that's tricky because I've seen really athletic women, and sure, they do have lower levels of body fat, but sometimes that comes with a risk. Men, on the other hand, they can get leaner as well, but they also start having health issues. A lot of bodybuilders, you see them, gain weight for a period of the year and then lose that weight. And that constant yo-yoing of your body can put a toll on your body. So you just want to be careful if you're ever interested in that. If you look at a food label, you will generally see 3 types of fats. You got your unsaturated, you got your saturated, and trans fat. Unsaturated fat is considered the healthiest type of fat. Unsaturated fat can be found in plant products and fish as well. That's a big popular fat source for some. Most of the fat calories you consume should be from these unsaturated fats. These are your safest fats to consume. Whereas saturated fats are found in meat and animal products like cheese, butter, milk. It can also be found in certain oils that are used in commercial baked goods. And consumption of these saturated fats can increase your cholesterol level. And it's best to limit your intake of these saturated fats. So eat more unsaturated than saturated. And then you generally want to avoid trans fats as much as possible. And they're found in many restaurant and store-bought goods. Foods like margarine, snack foods, fried foods generally have a lot of these trans fats. Any food that lists hydrogenated or hydrogenated oils on the label contains trans fat. Consumption of trans fats can even increase your cholesterol level. In addition, many of the foods that contain trans fat have little nutritional benefit and are also considered empty calories. So generally avoid trans fats, except for every once in a while. You know, it's not going to kill you to have it once in a while, but I don't know. I had some friends that ate fast food all the time, like every day. And I'm like, I know it's so convenient and it tastes pretty good, but nutritionally, you're not doing yourself any favors here. So just be careful. There are 6 essential nutrients found in food that are absorbed by the body. This is a summary of what we went over. We have vitamins, minerals, water. Vitamins are organically produced by plants and animals. Minerals are inorganic compounds found in the soil and water that are then consumed by plants and animals. Carbs give your body energy. They have categories like simple carbs, complex carbs. Aim for more complex carbs. Proteins are building blocks for your body and your muscles. Aim for protein-dense foods, and if you're a meat eater, that'll be meat, dairy. If you don't eat meat or dairy, you have beans, lentils, nuts, soy, tofu, and peanut butter. Lots of good stuff there. So don't think that not eating meat or dairy will deprive you of protein. And fats. Fats are essential for your body, but you want to stay away from trans fats and saturated fats. You want to limit those fats and stick to the healthier unsaturated fats in a lot of plant products. And I think if you eat meat, then fish. But that's it for nutrient function. So that was a fun one. And then lastly, we're going to look at digestive issues. And you know me, I just love learning about all the horrible, horrible ways things can go wrong with our body. So we're going to look at how the digestive system can screw up. Digestion, this just goes over digestion again. It's the mechanical and chemical breakdown of food. And what happens if we consume more food than we need? The extra fuel is stored in our bodies as fat. And having too much body fat can lead to a digestive issue known as obesity. So we're going to take a dive into this. Obesity is an epidemic that affects not only the adults in this country, but also children and adolescents. For adults, obesity is considered to be having a body mass index or BMI of greater than 30, whereas for children and adolescents, ages 6 to 19, so you guys will be considered adolescents, obesity is defined as being at or above the 95th percentile on the sex and age-specific growth charts. Obesity is also associated with other physiological and psychological conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, sleep disturbances, problems breathing, certain types of cancer, discrimination from other people, unfortunately, and lowered self-esteem. Now, there's a lot of stuff to dive into. That can be legitimate health issues that develop from obesity, and then lowered self-esteem. Lowered self-esteem isn't going to help anything. Shaming people is not a way to help this obesity issue. And that ties into the body positive movement. And I think that's great that people are able to not have low self-esteem based on their body. However, there are health issues associated with obesity, and I think there's a happy medium to be that we can uh, aim for, right? Like self-esteem, it's great to have self-esteem, and it can also be good to lose some excess weight if it's causing you health issues, right? And and it's not meant to offend anybody. That's not the aim of this. In order to prevent obesity, it is important to manage weight. Now, that can be hard in certain households, especially if you don't have any say of what kind of food is put into your house. And that's how obesity can transfer to younger children. The parents determine what food is okay to bring into the house, and then those children have no choice but to eat the food. You see how it's a system, and if junk food, if unhealthy foods are cheaper to eat, then parents may be likely to aim for those more empty calories, less nutritious foods. And it's just a cycle, right? Cheaper junk food means you buy more junk food. Junk food's available and it's cheap, so you eat it, you gain weight, and so on. And before you learn the principles of weight management, we're going to examine how your body uses food as fuel. Because storing body fat is not necessarily a bad thing, especially in the past when meals were less frequent, right? Storing body fat was useful because you didn't always know where your next meal was coming from. And your body could use that stored fat to break that down until you ate again. So it's a survival mechanism. Your body receives fuel or energy to survive and to complete tasks throughout the day from the food you eat. The energy value of the food is measured in units of heat called calories. Your body requires a certain number of calories to survive. The remaining calories you consume must be used, or they will be stored as body fat. Metabolism is the process of your body utilizing the energy found in food. Your basal metabolism is the minimum amount of energy required for your body to survive. While you are resting, you are still burning a slight amount of calories. The rate at which you are burning and utilizing calories is known as your metabolic rate. So that's your baseline. That's the amount of calories you need to burn to stay alive. Now, when you exercise on top of that, your metabolic rate increases, meaning that you burn more calories. Following exercise, it takes your metabolic rate a little while to decrease. I mean, your metabolic rate isn't going to go up that high. I think it's overselling it. Therefore, you are burning a little more calories both while you exercise and for a time after you stop. Sure. The amount your metabolic rate goes up is not like outrageously significant. So don't get that. Take that with a grain of salt. Weight management is the ability to maintain a proper balance of the calories you intake and those you expend. Weight management can be described in 3 statements. If you take in the same amount of calories as you burn, you will maintain your current weight. If you take in fewer calories than you burn, you will lose weight. If you take in more calories than you burn, you will gain weight. So that's a good rule of thumb for the most part. The most effective way to control your weight is to integrate this concept into your life. So if you want to lose weight, you need to take in fewer calories than you burn. Each pound of body fat is equivalent to 3,500 calories. To lose a pound of body fat, a realistic healthy amount, in a week, you need to eliminate 500 calories each day. So that's, how should I say this? That's like the most basic thing you ever see on, like, if you type in calorie calculator, that'll be like the general recommendation. This is calculated by taking the number of calories 3,500 divided by 7. You get 500 calories each day. You're going to eat less. So what are the ways to eliminate 500 calories? You could consume 500 calories less than you normally do. You could increase your activity level to burn 500 more calories. That's a lot harder than not consuming 500 calories. Or you could use a combination of both. So you can eat a little less and move a little more, and that will get you a deficit, 500 calories less each day. So that may be easier for some. Some people are like, oh, I don't want to like be active. I don't want to be super active like that. So I'll just eat 500 less calories. Some people like to exercise, so it could be like, I'll consume 250 less calories, and then I'll do some moderate exercise and burn 200 plus calories. And that's all good for the day. An effective way to lose weight is to begin implementing the following strategies. These strategies will help you lose weight in a healthy way and keep the weight off. So here's some weight loss strategies. We have eat fewer calories. Teens need to eat at least 1,400 to 16 calories daily in order to ensure that they are getting all the essential nutrients they need. It's estimated that a woman with a moderate activity level should have okay. So this all depends on your size and current weight. So I would Google a few calorie calculators and see what they say. Burn more calories through exercise that you find enjoyable and will want to continue doing. Set smart goals. Losing about a half pound to 1 pound a week is realistic, attainable, and safe. Eat mainly lower calorie foods from each of the 5 food groups. Eat foods you like. If your favorite food is high in calories, just have a smaller portion from time to time. Make a meal last at least 20 minutes. So if you slow down your eating, maybe talk with some friends, make it an event, it can be more satisfying than just scarfing down food because you're, I don't know, hungry or you're in a hurry. Sit down to eat, take smaller bites, put your utensils down after each bite, wait 5 minutes before having seconds. So it's just waiting to listening to your body. What does your body need? To avoid snacking, have a plan about what you will do when you are bored, or you eat like lower calorie foods. You have an apple instead of, potato chips or less nutritious food. When you do snack, dish out one portion, sit down at a table, not in front of the TV, and choose low calorie foods, carrots, celeries. And it sounds a little boring, but I like carrots actually. So you never know what vegetables you actually like. Be patient with yourself and think positively. Yeah, that's a big thing. It's body shame and hating yourself in your body. That's not great. You can have good self-esteem. You can like the way you look, and you can change your body and still love it. That's a big thing. Self-hatred, not useful. And if you do need help with that, talking with a counselor or therapist can help you with body image. Our culture, it's changing, but for a long time it was very, if you're not skinny, it's like you're not considered pretty, mainly. And on the male side too, it's like if you're skinny, you're not considered masculine. But a lot of that's changing. A lot of norms are changing, which I think is pretty cool. honestly. Calorie calculator. Here, I think I'll show this in a different video. But until next time, if you have any questions, ask me, email me, message me on Canvas, and I will help you out. But until next time, have a great one, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.